Relax, no one's coming. My sister texted minutes before the wedding ceremony. We're all at my engagement dinner instead. 2 minutes later, Mom followed with, "By the way, I used your card. All $500. Pop some more on it." I just replied, "Understood." That night, I said my vows alone in front of 47 empty chairs. At 3 a.m., I sent a link to the family group chat with one line. "You'll want to watch this before Grandpa sees it." My name's Laura. I'm 33, an IT contractor who mostly works with small businesses. Nothing glamorous. Just enough money and freedom to live life how I like it. I'm not the party girl, not the center of attention, and definitely not the family favorite. That title's always belonged to my younger sister Rachel. She's the golden child. Beautiful, loud, charming, always the one everyone wants to talk to at family dinners. I'm the one who gets asked to fix the Wi-Fi, but that's fine. I never needed the spotlight. I just wanted peace. Last year, I proposed to my boyfriend of 4 years, Nathan. He's the kind of person who writes thank you notes to baristas, the one who brings extra snacks on road trips in case someone forgets. A good soul. He said yes through tears, and we started planning a small wedding. Just 50 people, close friends, some extended family. The venue was a little vineyard an hour outside the city. Nothing fancy, but beautiful. My parents weren't thrilled that it wasn't a church wedding. Rachel joked, "So you're doing a picnic wedding? That's cute." I let it slide. It's what I always did. The plan was simple. Ceremony at 4 p.m., dinner by sunset. My friend Jake handling music. Nathan's cousin doing flowers. Rachel had RSVP'd, yes. Mom said she'd be there early to help set up. Dad even agreed to walk me down the aisle. I rented chairs, 50 of them. That morning, Nathan was in the groom's suite with his friends. I was pacing in my little prep room, checking the time every 2 minutes. 3:30. Then 3:45. No one from my family had arrived. By 3:55, I was sweating through my dress. I texted Rachel, "Hey, you guys on your way?" The read receipt popped up, then nothing for a solid minute. Then came her reply, "Relax, no one's coming." I stared at it, not even understanding. Then another text buzzed in. "We're all at my engagement dinner instead." What? 2 minutes later, another notification. My mom. "By the way, I used your card. All $500. Pop some more on it." I didn't reply. I just stood there blinking. Outside, the officiant poked her head in to ask, "Are we ready to begin?" I nodded. "We are." That night, I said my vows alone in front of 47 empty chairs. At 3 a.m., I sent a single message to the family group chat. "You'll want to watch this before Grandpa sees it." Then I attached a video and went to sleep. Let me back up. Rachel's always been the center of our family orbit. When we were kids, it was little things. If I got an A, Rachel got a smile and a "you're so smart." If I got a B+, I got "maybe try harder next time." When I fixed Mom's laptop, I was just doing what Laura always does. When Rachel updated her Instagram bio, Mom would call to talk about it for 40 minutes. By the time we were both adults, it wasn't subtle anymore. Rachel got a marketing job at some boutique PR firm downtown. I landed a long-term contract doing back-end systems for a medical supply company. Mine paid better, had benefits, actual responsibility. But guess who got the family celebration dinner with champagne? Not the one fixing servers, that's for sure. The money part got tricky fast. Rachel got used to everyone bailing her out. Maxed her first credit card at 23. Dad paid it off to protect her credit. Got fired from her second job for skipping too many days. Mom called it a toxic work culture. When she wanted to lease a luxury SUV despite her entry-level salary, guess who co-signed the loan? You guessed it, me. "It's just for a year," she'd said, "until I get promoted." That was 4 years ago. She never got promoted. I was still getting the statements. It wasn't like I had money to burn. I made decent income, sure, but I was careful with it. I had a modest apartment, drove a 10-year-old Honda, ate home-cooked meals 90% of the time. Everything extra went into savings with a mental note. This is for Nathan, for the house, for our wedding, for life together. Nathan knew about the money stuff. He wasn't thrilled. I told him, "It's just family. They'll come around." And he believed me. God, I wish he hadn't. My parents treated Nathan like he was fine. Not amazing, not warm, not like a new son, just there. Dad always forgot his name when telling stories. Mom once asked him at Thanksgiving if he was still doing the graphic thing, when Nathan had been a project coordinator at a publishing firm for 2 years. Rachel, of course, soaked it all in. She always needed to be the prettiest woman in the room. And in our family, she was. Every time Nathan wore something sharp, Rachel made a face. Every time he mentioned a work success, she changed the subject. Subtle, cold stuff. Then came the engagement. I told my parents first. They were polite. "Congratulations," Mom said. "That's nice." Rachel's response was immediate. "Wait, you proposed before telling me? That's rude, Laura." I brushed it off. When we started planning the wedding, we wanted small. 50 guests. No church. No over-the-top traditions. No speeches. Simple vows. Sunset dinner. Rachel called it a Pinterest fantasy. Mom kept trying to change it. "You sure you don't want your father to do a toast?" she asked. "He's already walking you down the aisle. Isn't that enough?" Nathan tried to keep the peace. "Let's just be kind," he'd say. "It's one day." I should have known better when Rachel offered to handle the cake. We sent her $480 from the wedding fund to place the order. Weeks went by. I asked about it. She said she'd ordered it. Then one night, Nathan found an email invoice. Rachel had refunded the cake and spent the money on a spa day with her friends. She didn't even deny it. "Look, I was stressed," she said. "And honestly, no one eats cake at weddings. Get cupcakes or whatever." That was 2 months before the ceremony. I should have canceled her invitation then and there, but I didn't, because I was still clinging to this fantasy that my family, dysfunctional, selfish, oblivious, would come through on the day that mattered. Then came the dress drama. Rachel wore white to my bridal shower. White. Not cream. Not off-white. Full-on bridal white with a sweetheart neckline and matching shoes. Everyone noticed. I said nothing. I smiled, greeted guests, handed out party favors like nothing was wrong. But when we got home that night, I cried in the bathroom for half an hour. "I just wanted one day," I said. "Just one day where I wasn't made to feel invisible." Nathan sat on the other side of the door, not saying anything, because he didn't have to. He already knew. We were 2 weeks from the wedding, and deep down, I think I already knew. I knew something would go wrong. I just didn't think it would be this bad. The day of the wedding started off quiet. I woke up at 6:00 a.m. to sunlight leaking through the hotel blinds. Nathan was already up, sitting on the floor in his robe, scribbling something in a notebook. He looked calm, focused. He smiled when I stirred. "Writing your vows?" I asked. He nodded. "Almost done." I kissed his shoulder, said I'd give him space, and left to grab coffee. I figured I'd stop by the venue early to help the crew unload chairs, do a last-minute check. Just normal bride stuff. The whole drive, I kept telling myself everything would be fine. At 10:00 a.m., my phone buzzed. It was Mom. "Hey, just a heads up," she said. "Rachel said there might be a delay. Don't worry." I didn't think much of it. Rachel's always late. Hair, makeup, drama. I replied, "Okay, see you all by 3. She didn't respond. By 2:30, guests had started to arrive. Nathan's friends. My college buddy Jake, who drove 4 hours to be there. The officiant had set up under the vine-covered arch. Nathan's cousin finished the flowers. Everything looked perfect, except the chairs on my side, the ones reserved for family, were completely empty. Everything looked perfect, except the chairs on my side, the ones reserved for family, were completely empty. No Mom, no Dad, no Rachel. I walked behind the venue building, phone in hand, and texted my sister. "Ita." A minute later, the typing bubble appeared. Then her message popped up. "Relax, no one's coming." I stared at it like it was a bad joke. My thumb hovered over the screen. I didn't know what to even say. Then another message appeared. "We're all at my engagement dinner instead." The words didn't compute. I read them 5 times. My chest tightened. Then Mom chimed in. "By the way, I used your card, all $500. Pop some more on it." I just replied, "Understood." Then I walked back out to the main area. The officiant was looking around nervously. "Laura," she asked, "We're ready," I said. "Start." So I stood up front alone. Nathan walked down the aisle, all grace and calm, smiling like nothing had happened. Like his bride hadn't just been abandoned by her entire family, like we weren't saying our vows in front of 47 guests and 47 empty chairs. He said, "I do." And I said it back. Everyone clapped. The photographer took pictures that looked beautiful on the surface. No one talked about the half-empty room. We cut the cake, the one Nathan ordered last minute when he realized Rachel never replaced the one she canceled. We danced. My college friend gave a speech. Nathan's uncle played the piano. At 9:00 p.m., the party ended. We drove back to our hotel in silence. Nathan reached for my hand in the car and just squeezed it. "I'm sorry," he whispered. I didn't say anything. Not because I was angry at him, but because I knew, finally knew, that something inside me had broken, like a switch flipped. Something I'd been ignoring for years finally cracked all the way through. They chose her again, on my wedding day. When we got back to our room, Nathan went to wash off his makeup. I sat on the edge of the bed staring at my phone. Rachel had posted a picture on Instagram, her and her fiancé, smiling at a rooftop bar with engaged balloons in the background. My parents were there, glasses raised, matching smiles. I kept staring at the photo. I didn't cry. I didn't throw the phone. I just felt cold. Then I opened my laptop. See, what Rachel didn't know, what none of them knew, was that I had a hobby. A small one, really. Just a little YouTube channel I'd started during lockdown. Tech tutorials, funny skits, personal vlogs. Nothing huge, but I kept it up for years. Over time, it picked up some steam. One of my videos on fixing a common Windows bug had gone mildly viral. I had 68,000 subscribers. Enough to earn side income. Enough to give me a platform. So that night, at 2:53 a.m., I recorded something. I sat in my wedding dress, still rumpled, shoes kicked off, hair half undone, face blank, and I spoke into the camera. I told the story, not dramatically, not yelling, just facts. Today was supposed to be my wedding. My family didn't show. They were at my sister's engagement dinner instead. My mom used my card to pay for it. This isn't about revenge. It's about clarity, about years of being second, about watching my sister bend the truth, take advantage, cross boundaries, and get rewarded for it, about being told to keep the peace so many times that I forgot I had a right to be angry. I ended the video with a simple message. I'm done. This is the last time I let them take from me. I uploaded it privately. Then I sent a single message to the family group chat. You'll want to watch this before Grandpa sees it. No emojis, no threats, just the link. Then I shut off my phone and crawled into bed beside Nathan. That was the first night in years I slept straight through until morning. I woke up to 53 missed notifications. 4 from Mom, 3 from Dad, 28 from Rachel. The rest were from cousins, aunts, 1 from Grandpa, and a handful of Instagram DMs from people I didn't even know. The video blew up. I didn't expect that. Turns out when you title a post, my family skipped my wedding for my sister's engagement and include actual receipts, texts, screenshots, even the bank statement showing the $500 charge, people pay attention. It started small, a few hundred views. Then it hit a Reddit thread. From there, TikTok picked it up. Within 24 hours, my channel went from 68,000 subscribers to 150,000. The comments were a wall of support. This is brutal. I can't believe they did that. Your sister is straight up unfair. Nathan is a king for standing by you. This hit harder than any family drama movie I've ever seen. Rachel's Instagram went private within 6 hours. My parents didn't post anything at all, not even their usual Sunday brunch nonsense. The silence was loud, but the family chat? Chaos. First came Dad. Laura, what is this? Take that video down now. Then Mom. This is deeply unfair. You're airing private family matters online. We were just trying to support Rachel. Then Rachel herself, a full essay. You're disgusting for doing this. You made us look like monsters. You're twisting everything. That video is a complete betrayal. I was planning my engagement for months. No apology, no acknowledgement of what she'd done. Just rage that I'd told the truth. I didn't respond. That night, Nathan made pasta. We sat at the table like any regular Tuesday couple. Except now he had a wife with a small cult following and a family scandal trending in 3 subreddits. You okay? He asked. I think so, I said. Just tired. I'm proud of you. That meant more than he knew. The next few days were a blur. One of my old professors emailed me. A former coworker from an old IT contract messaged to say she watched the video with her husband and cried. A wedding photographer I didn't even know offered us a free photo shoot as a do-over. But what really hit me was Grandpa. He called me 2 days later, voice shaking. Laura, I watched the video. I braced myself. I always suspected they favored Rachel, he said. But this broke my heart. I didn't say much, I just listened. If I'd known how bad it was, he continued, if someone had told me, I would have said something. I should have said something years ago. The next day, he sent Nathan and me a wedding gift, a check for $5,000 with a note. Use this for something that makes you happy, not them. I cried when I read it. That weekend, Nathan and I left town. 2 nights in a cabin up north. No Wi-Fi, no texts, just trees, a fireplace, wine, and quiet. The break was needed. Back home, things started falling apart for them, not us. One of Rachel's friends, someone who'd seen the engagement dinner posts, commented publicly, "So wait, you knew the wedding was that day and still chose that timing?" Another friend unfollowed her, then another, then a cousin. The circle started to collapse. I heard from a relative, my mom's sister, that there'd been a screaming match at family brunch the following Sunday. Grandpa had called them selfish and careless. Mom walked out. Dad followed. Rachel apparently cried and claimed I manipulated the internet. Meanwhile, Nathan and I went back to real life. He returned to work. I kept making content. My inbox filled with interview requests. I declined them all. This wasn't about clout. It was about letting go, about drawing the line. One night, about 2 weeks after the wedding, there was a knock at the door. It was Dad. He looked tired, older, somehow. "I just want to talk," he said. Nathan stayed in the other room. I let Dad sit in the living room. He didn't touch the glass of water I offered. "I didn't know they were doing that," he started. "I swear, I thought they were coming later. I thought they'd at least show up by dinner. Your mom said it was just a quick stop at Rachel's thing." He trailed off. "And you saw the chairs?" I asked. He nodded. "And you saw the bill?" He flinched. "I told your mom not to use your card. I told her." Silence. "Why didn't you call me?" I asked. "Why didn't you text? Even explain?" "I was ashamed," he said quietly. I believed him, at least partially, but it didn't matter anymore. "You let her do it," I said. "All of it. For years. You let Rachel take whatever she wanted. You let them treat me like an afterthought. You never stopped it." "I know," he said, "and now it's too late." He looked down. "You can still be her father," I said, "but you're not mine anymore." He didn't argue. He just stood up and left, like someone who finally understood what he'd lost. I haven't heard from him since. Nathan and I moved 3 months later. A new apartment, a fresh start. We framed one of the wedding pictures. Just the two of us under the sunset, no crowd. Perfect. Sometimes people still recognize me online. "Hey, aren't you the woman from the wedding story?" I smile. "Yeah, that was me." And I'm not ashamed, because for once, finally, I told the truth, and I chose peace, even if it meant closing the door on people I once called family. It's been 9 months since the wedding. I haven't spoken to my mom since the day she texted me about using my credit card. She emailed once around Christmas. A 3-line apology sandwich wedged between passive-aggressive jabs about how family should stay private and how we all make mistakes. I didn't reply. Rachel went full radio silence. Unfollowed me everywhere. One of Nathan's friends told us she postponed her own wedding plans indefinitely. Apparently, people started dropping from her guest list after the video. She's calling it a spiritual break. I call it consequences. Dad hasn't reached out again, and that's fine. He made his choice the moment he sat in a restaurant eating crab cakes, while his daughter stood alone in front of 47 empty chairs. People ask if I regret posting the video. Not for a second. Because it wasn't about revenge, it was about reclaiming my voice. For too long, I let them rewrite the story. That I was too sensitive. That Rachel just had a big personality. That Mom was just trying to help. That Dad was caught in the middle. But no, that wasn't the truth. The truth is, they chose Rachel over and over again while I paid the bills, stayed quiet, and made peace. The truth is, I got erased so many times I forgot what it felt like to stand up, until I did. And once I did, I never sat back down. Nathan and I are doing better than ever. We had a small celebration with close friends, a kind of wedding 2.0. No pressure, no speeches. Just us, some candles, and a taco truck in the backyard. It was perfect. He wears his ring with pride. I see the way people look at us now, not with pity, but with respect, like we walked through fire and didn't come out bitter, just stronger. We moved to a new apartment across town, smaller but cozy, fresh walls, no ghosts. Nathan hung our favorite wedding picture right by the kitchen, the one where we're dancing alone in the vineyard, surrounded by string lights and empty chairs. Some people might find it sad. I think it's honest. That photo reminds me what we survived. Sometimes I wonder if my family will ever change, if they'll ever really see what they did, if they'll ever apologize, not because they got caught, but because they understand. I doubt it, and I've made peace with that. Because the real win wasn't exposing them. It was walking away from the guilt, from the pressure to keep the peace at the expense of my own mental health, from the idea that I owed them endless patience while they gave me nothing but scraps. I don't know anyone's space in my life just because we share DNA. Family is supposed to be a place of safety, not a lifelong debt. And when they show you who they are, when they miss your wedding, drain your bank account, and smile about it, believe them. These days, I still get the occasional message from someone who watched the video. Sometimes it's a teenager saying, "Your story gave me courage to speak up." Sometimes it's a grown adult saying, "That was my childhood too." Sometimes it's just a simple "thank you." Every time I smile. Maybe what happened to me wasn't unique, but finally telling the truth, that was mine, and I'm keeping it. And if you're reading this, if your family has ever made you feel like a backup plan in your own life, I want you to know something. You don't need their permission to walk away. You don't need their approval to protect your peace. You get to choose who has access to you. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is close the door quietly, without drama, without rage, just peace. And when that silence sets in, when they finally realize they can't reach you anymore, that's when they'll understand what they lost. And by then, you'll be long gone.